Hi guys and welcome. My name is Melissa, so welcome to my channel. This is where I just like to share real life, and a part of my real life is reading. So today we're talking about the books that I have read over the last 3 months, like the last 3 months of 2025. So we'll talk about that. If you're new, let me just briefly tell you what I like to read. I always say if it doesn't have, if there's not a kingdom to save or a revolution to start or magical powers, then I'm out. That's kind of what I like. So sometimes it's young adult or fantasy or science fiction kind of stuff. I like those. Not exclusively, but that's a good little picture of what I like. I only read closed door romance or better. I don't know what that's called. I don't do open door or more extreme. So I will say, if that is something that you're looking for, that's nice, because I feel like every list out there is full of open door romance. I don't know, it's just everywhere right now, so I won't give you that. So that's kind of nice if you are looking for that. But yeah, we're just going to talk about what I have been reading. So I'm recording this on January 17th. I meant to record it on the 1st or after, but my husband was sick. And then I was sick, and then it's just, I don't know, life has just been happening. So here we are. I'm finally getting to share the books that I read. It'd be October, November, and December. So that's what we're looking at today. I will say, quick side note, I was able to read so many physical books, and I would read them the electronic version and the physical at the same time, which I love, and it hardly ever works out that I can have the physical copy and the electronic copy at the same time, because I love to use the library, and that means my public library, but also Libby on my phone or on Kindle. And so it just hardly ever works out that you can have them all. I'm always on a wait list or something, So that was really, really fun for these little months of reading, where I could, at home, read the physical copy, and then wherever I left off, I would continue reading when I was on the go, just on my phone or Kindle. But then when I get back home, I could go, it was so fun. And then I felt like I was flying through the books, because I could read the same book. I didn't have to switch back and forth, I don't know. It was this weird little thrill that I had over these months. So it's not something I can plan on all the time, but when it works out, it's chef's kiss. So, okay, we are starting with Glorious Rivals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. So I actually have my Goodreads on my phone, and I'm going to just, it's very Christmassy, so sorry. I'm just gonna read a little bit of the summary that they provide. Do I want to do that? Let me just tell you the words that they use first for the genres. Okay, this is mystery, young adult, romance, fiction, mystery thriller. I feel like those are good. I think this is, hold on, let me think. This might be part of the Inheritance Games. I'm trying to remember now. She has a spin-off series as well. Yeah, okay, sorry. I should just read the summary. It says, millions' hearts and lives are on the line in this best-selling sequel to The Grandest Game by #1 best-selling author Jennifer Lynn Barnes. So there's the Inheritance Games, and then a spin-off is called The Grandest Game. This is the second book, Glorious Rivals. Now I'm with you. Okay. I love this whole series. I love this author. I really am into it. And it's kind of fun / bittersweet, I guess, that she's still writing these and they're coming out, so you have to wait. I love discovering an old series and then being able to just fly through it and read them all, and kind of almost binge read a book series. This one, she's still writing them, so you have to wait forever, and then when it comes out, you can get it. So this one, I was in line for a long time, waiting for it to finally be my turn, and I really liked it. I don't want to give away too much. I'm trying to think of how not to spoil that book, but I like it. The one thing I will say, the characters seem much older. Anytime they kind of mention their age, I always am caught off guard. I'm wait, how young are these kids? It's kind of a little bit surreal. They definitely have power and money, And that makes me think that they're much older than they are. They're younger than I think, but anyway, I gave that 5 stars. I really like this whole series. I'm into it and I can't wait for the next one. Okay, so because I liked that author so much, and she does have some older series that I haven't read, I then was like eager for more and I have to wait for the next one. So I ended up reading an older series that she wrote. I forget what it's called. It's not really a series. It's 2 books that go together. So the first one that I read was The Fixer. So again, this is also by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. It says, when Tess Kendrick is sent to stay with her older sister in Washington, D.C., she has no idea that Ivy is the capital's go-to fixer, a person who can make powerful people's scandals disappear with the snap of her fingers. I don't want to keep reading, but basically she goes to like this school, like a high school that's kind of like everyone's connected to someone in DC. So it basically like all the politics and dynamics and games that are playing out in like the real world are also happening at this school. And she kind of finds herself as the school's fixer, just like her sister is the fixer in DC, if that makes sense. This one, very good. I got really into it. Same kind of words used for the genres. So young adult, mystery, thriller, all that. Yeah, I was really, I was hooked the whole time. I think I read through it very quickly. I gave it 5 stars. So then I went to the next book in the series, or the sequel, whatever it's called. The Long Game. I don't want to give too much away because it obviously is a sequel. So you have to finish the first one before I can really tell you about the second one. But same thing, like the dynamics of DC are still playing out at the school. Let me just tell you this though. I was about ready to give it 5 stars, and then there was a twist that shocked me. Like, I was betrayed by a character. I'll just say that, okay? I was so shocked. I literally was kind of in a bad mood. I read that part on my birthday, like right before we were gonna go out for my birthday dinner. And I had to kind of remind myself, like, shake it off. I was in like a bad, crabby mood. And I was supposed to enjoy my birthday dinner with my husband. And it was because I read the book and like got betrayed by this fictional character that I just was so surprised. That's all I'll say. So, I mean, I definitely had strong emotions. I was definitely into the book and like hooked. But that was a little, I mean, it rocked me. So I had to give it 4 stars because I thought that was unnecessary. Okay. The next books, I'm just going to clump all together. Every single October, I reread the Twilight series. That's just my little thing. I don't know. I have this special place in my heart for the books. So, I mean, I reread them every single year, so I had to give them 5 stars. Like, you know. But I'm not going to talk about those because by now you either know or you just don't care. So either way, I reread the whole series. I love it. That's my little like fun. That's a gift for me. And I love it. It makes my October so fun. I don't feel like I need to explain it because that's not the point. The point is it's just like a little gift for me. So that's all I'll say. And then we're moving on. Okay. The other book I read, this is again, I'm going to struggle to explain it because it's part of a series. It's called The Hero of Ages. It's by Brandon Sanderson. I think this might be book 3 in the Mistborn series. It says, the first line on Goodreads book description, it says, the description contains spoilers for previous book in the series. So that's what I want to avoid. So never mind. I won't say anything. The genre words are fantasy, fiction, epic fantasy, science fiction fantasy, basically in this world or whatever, people can have powers by burning metals inside their body, but using those metals for certain powers. Some people can use multiple powers and some people only one. I'm probably saying this weird, but I like it. And this was definitely like the ending. I think this was the one that I gave 4 stars and then I went back and changed it because I was so into it. And then right at the end, I was kind of sad about how it ended. I don't know. I liked it. It's one of those things when you have this huge epic story, and it was like, I think the third one, the ending can't just be, and they all lived happily ever after. Like, I do think that that would actually be a bad ending to a book like that. Like, it shows bad writing maybe, or it's just not realistic. But a part of me is always a little bit sad, and I kind of wish that there was a way that everyone could have like a happy ending tied up with a bow. So I gave it 5 stars because I definitely was into it, and the ending, it showed good writing. Like, I think it was written well, but I will just say it's not the happiest, nice, tidy ending. Okay, I don't want to, sorry if I'm spoiling too much. Okay. The next one, okay, this is also part of a series. If you can't tell, I really love a series. I really, really love it. So this is Golden Sun. This is part of the Red Rising series by Pierce Brown. The genre words are science fiction, fantasy, dystopia, young adult. Also, this one says space opera, which I was like, what the heck? I've never thought of that as a genre. And now I'm like, do I like space opera? Is that something I should explore? So I don't know. But anyway, it's definitely like, I think futuristic, like humans have now, they inhabit like multiple planets, and moons and like things like that. And so just the world is like huge. And there's some revolution happening, you know, and some government to overthrow and stuff like that. So right up my alley. I'm really into it. I really like it. And it's definitely, I don't know how to say this. It kind of feels like it's a boy book. Like it's written for a boy, but I really like it. So I shouldn't say it like that, but it's definitely more focused on like the war. It's not pretty crude sometimes, and yet I'm so into this series and I'm still reading it. So I don't know. I gave that one 5 stars too. I'm telling you, these were some good months of reading. So that one, I liked it. Let's see. And then we get into my Christmas books. So obviously if you're watching this, it's after Christmas. And so I'll keep these pretty brief, but just lock it away. You can read them whenever you want, I guess, if you decide to read them. Also, I will say right now, I had a hard time because I started several books for like Christmas books that I abandoned and I never finished them. So I don't give those a rating. I don't keep track of those at all. I don't read them, and I make sure that they're not anymore on my to be read list. So I tried several and they just weren't giving me what I wanted. They were either like way too kind of like raunchy, or it just wasn't, I don't know what I wanted. I kind of want like a cheesy Christmas movie, but in book form. So I don't know. I remembered the author, is her name Elin Hilderbrand? And she wrote, I want to remember, what was the one I read a couple of years ago? It might have been Winter Street Inn or something that I read, Winter Street. And so this book is the follow-up, and it's called Winter Stroll. I gave it 3 stars just because I don't love it. And okay, hold on, let me tell you what it's about. Sorry. It all follows this family, and you take turns, like each chapter is a different character in the family, a member of the family. And then, you know, it kind of goes through, you hear from everybody all the time. I always struggle because I don't love the characters. Like all of them are kind of terrible people. And then also you kind of end up rooting for them. And then you also kind of don't. So I don't know. I gave it 3 stars because I couldn't quite tell, do I even like these characters or not? I mean, their lives are messy. They all make mistakes and make terrible choices, but then they also all, like, you do kind of root for them to have a happy ending. I don't know if I'm saying this, I don't know. Are you getting what I'm saying? But anyway, I did Winter Stroll and Winter Storms and then Winter Solstice. So I think those were the only ones. Yeah, that was like the whole series, just following this family. And it's a lot of times through like the Christmas season or like the winter months. I don't know. I read them all, but I gave them all 3 stars. It's like a solid 3. I definitely finished it. Like if it's gonna be a 2-star or below, I don't even finish that book. So obviously these I did. I was interested in the family and it kept me like hooked. I wanted to kind of find out how their stories ended. But like I said, I just didn't quite love any of the characters enough like to be rooting for them. I'm not thinking about them still like maybe a 4 or a 5-star book. So I don't know. That's why they get 3. But it was fun for like, those are the only ones that I read basically in December that were like Christmas books. So I'm going to have to do maybe next year. I'll just reread some of my favorites that I've already read because I enjoy in December reading Christmas books, but I just couldn't find any good ones this year. So hey, if you have good recommendations, please let me know because I need to start making a list for next year. And then the last book, which is not really a book, I think it's like a novella. It's called The Deal of a Lifetime. I feel like everyone rated it really high, or I kept seeing it maybe on people's lists. It's by Frederick Backman. Oh, and Alice Menzies, it says translator. So I wonder what this was originally, in what language it was in. But anyway, the genres are fiction, Christmas, short stories, novella. Let me read it to you a little bit. It says, a father and a son are seeing each other for the first time in years. The father has a story to share before it's too late. He tells his son about a courageous little girl lying in a hospital bed a few miles away. She's a smart kid, smart enough to know that she won't beat cancer by drawing with crayons all day, but it seems to make the adults happy, so she keeps doing it. I'm gonna stop reading. It's like this father has been so consumed with just like business success and financial success his whole life. He has not been a father to this son. And I don't even want to give it away. It's like, I think you find out very quickly in the book that he's dying. So that's kind of the premise of the book. Like he has this time to kind of reflect and maybe make a different choice for his life or whatever. I just didn't really like it. I gave it 3 stars because I finished it, and I finished it in a day, and I thought it was kind of beautifully written, but I just don't really get the point. And the way the story ends, I don't see. It's hard to talk about these books without giving it away, like the ending, so I don't want to do that, but I just kind of was left a little bit unsatisfied with the ending. So if you have read it, if you got something out of it, please let me know because I missed it. I just wasn't that into how it ended, or I don't know. But it was like a short book, so it's hard to really like have a huge character arc with a novella, but I don't know. Yeah, it's fine. I read it in a day, or like an afternoon, I think, so it gets points for that. Anyway, that was all of my books that I read in October, November, and December. So I really loved, like I said, being able to read hard copies, especially when I could also read them at the same time on my electronic like copy or like device. That was really fun. That's why sometimes I gravitate toward rereading older books or just discovering books that have been out for a long time, because then that's so much easier to find like at the library or on Libby. So I like doing that a lot. I actually wrote for this upcoming year, 2026, I had a spot in my planner to write like the books that you want to read this year. And so I actually looked at my to be read list on Goodreads, and I picked like the big highlight, like the big ones that I really want to prioritize. And I wrote those down. I cannot talk today. I wrote those down in my planner, and I kind of think that might be kind of like a guide for my reading life this year, because sometimes I just sort of wander through. It's kind of like whatever book is available, that's the one I read, and I don't even know if I'm in that mood or not. And so I don't know, I'm excited about this year. I think having some direction might be good, and it might help just focus my reading, I guess, and maybe I won't have to like bail on as many books, because I have narrowed down my list to the ones that I really, really want to prioritize. But all that to say, I definitely have room for your recommendations though. So if you want to give those to me, let me know. If you have books that I need to check out, I definitely will. So let me know. And of course, if you want to just I mean, if you want to talk more about books, make sure you subscribe, but also we'll be back to like regular, just real life, sharing all the things as we go through life together and just hang out. So you can subscribe and like the video, and I will see you next time. Bye, guys.